All right, welcome back, ladies and gents, to Bears, Beats, and Baileys. I am Matthew Bailey. Alongside me is Ricardo Medina. And today we're going to talk about two recently released movies. One I haven't seen yet, but I hope to, and another that we've seen yesterday, actually, just yesterday.
Yeah, so this yesterday, the time we recorded.
Yeah. First movie is Southpaw.
Yeah.
Latest film from director Antoine Fuqua. Stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Forrest Whitaker, Rachel McAdams, and for some weird reason, 50 Cent in it. And the second movie is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which stars Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, and Alec Baldwin's in it as well, too.
Yeah. All right, so we'll start with, I saw Southpaw on, 3 days from before this recording.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still relatively fresh in my mind. This film, I was a little let down by this film, a little bit. It had a lot of strengths, a lot of strong points in it, a lot of, reasonably workable themes, but it was still pretty cliched. And I was a little underwhelmed, given that, especially given Jake Gyllenhaal's track record in acting. He has been doing some amazing stuff in the last couple of years, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And
agreed, yeah.
Yeah. But he was by far the best thing in this film. So his acting was on point. Most notable of the works, in my opinion, was Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Pretty damn awesome film from last year. One of my favorite films of last year. Top 10.
Same
easy,
here as well too.
Easy,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, easy top 10. In this film, I think the script was kind of weak. So you have him playing a character called Billy Hope. So I mean, right there is the
Billy Hope.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and I really thought they would have done more with the material. He basically is a down on his luck boxer.
Mm-hmm.
The story that he starts off very, very successful. He's on the top of his game in his weight as a boxer, and then tragedy strikes in. I don't think it's a bit of a spoiler, but tragedy strikes.
Well, I think most of the spoilers are in the trailer.
Right.
A lot of people argued about that.
Right. Yeah. So basically, his wife is killed, and this triggers basically cause a cascade failure in his life, where pretty much everything goes wrong. He loses his daughter to the state. He has no money, and he kind of has to build himself back up to come back up and build his life back up through boxing.
Right.
And he does this through being trained by Forrest Whitaker's character, who is basically a kind of small, low-time, gym owner who trains boxers. But the reason he goes to this guy is because Billy Hope's, his official track record...
Billy Hope's.
yeah. His official track record has him undefeated. However, there was a match that was kind of fixed in his direction, and the only boxer to ever beat him. He considers this guy the only boxer to ever beat him. And this guy was the one to train the guy who beat him. So, right, and that's what is explained. As I said, the problem with this is that, what would have fixed this film, or fixed one of the big problems with this film, is that if it was a period piece, because nothing in it made a lot of sense in a modern context.
Okay, so in other words, it's like you take bits of Rocky, bits of Raging Bull, stuff from the 70s and the 80s, and you put it in this modern context, and
it just doesn't
fit.
Didn't really mesh it very well, because a simple thing like him losing a lot of his money. Yeah, but if you're a millionaire, you would still figure out a way to keep your money. Like, you can't be that dumb. Now, apparently, Rachel McAdams, her character was running all the affairs, but still. So it was a kind of Mike Tyson kind of story in a sense.
Yeah.
In terms of, horrible mismanagement of his money, and he just lost more or less everything.
Well, in other words, he was careless with his money then.
Yeah, but
ridiculously
still,
careless.
not really. He just wasn't keeping up with it at all, and it really didn't. But to me, that didn't make much sense. Again, even if one person in your family died and you have all the strategy, you would still have a system, and especially in today's world of boxing and sports entertainment. You would still have a system or some kind of machinery involved to keep that cash in your life. You would still be relatively rich. I mean, we make jokes like the character 50 Cent himself. He in real life was referenced to being bankrupt, but he's not really that bankrupt. He still has at least he's still worth $36 million. He's still living relatively comfortably, way better than me right now.
And me.
No, but the point is that I find it didn't follow that he would be that downtrodden. He go into this pretty crappy apartment, and that narrative didn't make sense to me. But other than that, another thing to it is still relatively amateurishly shot, in my opinion.
Wait, what? Antoine Fuqua.
That's what I said.
Him.
That's the thing.
Training day him.
That's my thing, is that it really, in terms of quality, it was a little bit of a disappointment because this is Fuqua, boy.
Wait, but what about like the boxing scenes? Like,
right.
Yeah, just for example, what
right.
about those?
Okay, so the boxing scenes are very well shot.
Right.
Very good.
So
bloody. Things like sound design, very, very good. It doesn't make pay homage to boxing, not that much, because like it doesn't be truly accurate to boxing. Like the way how he fights is like, wait, how come are you a boxer but you never throw a jab in this way or that way? But the story explains that quite well, where he's just a raw, like, kind of pit bull fighter. And
a brawler then.
A raw brawler, and then
right.
he has to like train himself properly, and this is where Forrest Whitaker character comes in and deals with that. And that's a pretty good team there of him honing his skill, you know, the sharpening of the blade, the diamond in the rough,
right,
kind of thing. He rose to, you know, prominence with just being the rough fighter, but he becomes a smooth fighter by the end to beat the villain. Well, kind of the
antagonist.
Yeah, the villainish kind of character. Okay, so I'll just go quick with my rating. I'll give this movie a low movie tone. Or maybe a high CC8, if anything. Yeah, go see it. It's worth your time, but it's the acting was kind of underwhelming. 50 Cent was terrible. Forrest Whitaker was quite good. Jake Gyllenhaal he held the movie because he was just, in terms of quality, he was far and above everybody else in the film. Rachel McAdams was neither here nor there for me because she exited the film pretty early. She's pretty good in True Detective right now. She's in season 2, one of the main characters.
Right.
But in this, forgettable. The daughter stood out. I think Numi, what's her name, boy? She who played the new Moneypenny. Numi.
I forgot the name as well. Yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
Numi Watts?
No, not Naomi Watts.
No, Numi. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I need a list. However,
I need a list.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, but she was in this as a social worker. They did a whole thing with it. As I said, it didn't really work. They should have done more with the script. I think my problem with the script is that the script wasn't brave enough because they did a lot of stuff with like the Great White. They made a joke doing the whole Great White Hope idea. And the idea of basically the white boxer could flourish in a let's admit it, you know, white boxers are really
predominantly black.
Right, exactly. And they never raised like any kind of racist issue or anything like that at all. So it was just not that dark or particularly, it was just him suffering, and he was basically, the character just had anger management problems. That's kind of the main theme. And I thought they could have made the script really, like, could have gone serious and make it like with some serious themes involving modern society, race, and that kind of thing. They barely make a joke about it, in one, like a newspaper headline, the Great White Dope. That's it. One small joke. They do a nice in-universe explanation of why Forrest Whitaker has a sleepy eye, because he was a former boxer and he got hit in his eye and it damaged it. So that's the whole thing with it.
Right, so
again, it is a film that explains stuff. It had dark stuff in it, but you could tell it felt really cut up, and so I was a little let down by this one. It's not the worst.
Right. So what was the issue? It wasn't edgy enough, or it was relying too much on cliches. So you're hitting all these emotional notes, and you had to feel sad here, you had to feel real sad here, and you had to feel inspired here. You know, it doesn't take that much risk. Maybe because it's just the script or just the genre.
It played it way too safe, and I really thought they would have done a better job with. And they just like gloss over a lot of stuff that should have been darker.
Right.
And it's like, oh well, this character. Do you know that this guy died? What? Okay. And they stop. Yeah, they just like glossed over, and that's a dark thing. And then they have this. Yeah, it just flowed really poorly. For me, it had potential, but it was clearly unfulfilled. So again, high CC8, if anything. High CC8, low movie tone. You could skip this one for the most part. I mean, you go see it, I recommend, if you want to do a little matinee run time. But that's about it. I really underwhelmed by this one. I think Eminem was supposed to be the star of this, but if Eminem and 50 Cent was together, it would have been disastrous.
It would have been hilarious.
Yeah. So
hilarious.
They would have had to change whoever the actor 50 Cent would have played. So I suspected they just wanted a rapper in to replace Eminem, essentially. Yeah.
And then his music is in it as well, too. That god-awful, phenomenal song, which I generally hate.
That was basically just a simple montage.
Right.
Look, the movie had some really great realization in it, you know. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal, in terms of his body and what he looked like, was great. They had a lot of good stuff with respect to the boxing was very, very well shot.
Right.
It was pretty brutal. The sound design was like, when you're hearing these punches, you're hearing the punches. It was tough.
Stuff, right.
It was very, very well done. They had I won't say a cameo, but they had a little bit of a cameo of Roy Jones Jr., who in my opinion is a fantastic boxer. He was like one of the best ever. He's unbelievably fast, and it was this basically like that same style of it. It was again a little bit of a letdown.
Same old, right?
Yeah, a little bit of a letdown. The thing is, I'd like to see it compared to say something like Creed. Which is
which I can't wait to see Creed.
Which is basically a sequel to the Rocky movies. It's Rocky training Apollo Creed's kid, played by Michael B. Jordan. So that's the comparison. But then the thing is, I was never impressed by the trailer. Is very good in Creed.
Yeah,
trailer for Southpaw was not particularly impressive in my opinion. But again, it had Jake Gyllenhaal's name behind it, and that's what pulled me. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's so hot right now.
Yeah.
To reference, Zoolander. And it was a little bit of a letdown. He was good, not denying that. He was very good in it, but everything else, yeah. So.
Oh well.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it. So we could just move on to a much better movie.
Yes.
We saw yesterday from the time it was recorded.
We
saw
Mission Impossible
5.
Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
So just a brief little history. I'll try to make it quick. This is the 5th film in the Mission Impossible movie series.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is the little history behind it. During the early 90s, for those who forgot, Hollywood, like today, was desperately seeking new ideas and new films, new concepts.
Not as obnoxious as today, but it was there.
Yeah,
Beverly Hillbillies, a bunch of TV shows.
Yeah, Adam's Family, stuff like that. Yeah. So they were looking to old school TV shows and bringing a 90s spin on it, you know? And you could argue they did the same with cartoons. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And then in 1995, GoldenEye came out and blew everybody away.
Yeah,
this was a return to the James Bond franchise. They brought in a new actor, Pierce Brosnan, who ironically was supposed to be in either License to Kill or Living Daylights, one of those two.
Right.
No, I think it was Living Daylights. And then Timothy Dalton replaced him.
Okay.
So yeah, Pierce Brosnan was in the lineup from way back when.
Right.
And this movie was a smash hit.
Yeah.
The theme song from Tina Turner was awesome.
Yeah.
Movie was awesome. I mean, you look at it now in retrospect, it's kind of silly, but it would fit time.
I really liked GoldenEye. Big fan of that movie.
Yeah, and of course the video game. Do even talk about the video game.
My to get to that. It
God, that game.
Groundbreaking first-person shooter.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So, but right. So James Bond is a British character. Is a British-based character, right? So okay, the spy series is gaining traction now. So how can Hollywood capitalize on that? I know we had a TV show back in the 60s. I think it's called Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Some guy Bruce Giller or something made it, But anyway, they decided to turn it into a series. Paramount Pictures, decided to turn it into a movie, not a series. They casted Tom Cruise to play Ethan Hunt. Mm-hmm. He's one of the members of the IMF.
Impossible Mission Force is the most ridiculous name ever. But it's awesome.
Yeah.
The franchise always had that silly but awesome premise. It's very ridiculous when you think about it. With any amount of thought, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, and what really made although I haven't seen the series, I'm hoping to one of these days. But what really made the first film work is that it was more about teamwork.
Yeah.
So you had Tom Cruise doing his thing.
Yeah.
You had Ving Rhames, who played Luther, who would show up in technically all the films except he showed up in the end of the last film, which was Ghost Protocol. He was the tech guy, the hacker guy and thing. And it was just this espionage film. Like, it was really heavy on espionage. It was directed by Brian De Palma, who directed great films such as Carrie, Scarface, everyone's favorite gangster movie of all time. So he made that. And it was a critical and commercial success. But the issue with it that really pissed a lot of people off is that you took the main character, the main protagonist of the series, Jim Phelps, who was played by John Voight, and you turned him into a villain.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember...
I thought it was kind of clever at the time. I mean, a lot of people was pissed off with that.
Yeah, they were. Even the actor who played Jim Phelps was like, dude, nah, walk out. Walk out the screen. It's like, nah, hell no.
No, I thought that was kind of clever with that. The idea that, everybody corruptible. And that's basically the entire franchise does the same plot a lot.
Yeah, about who do you trust? Can I trust this person
with my
life?
This very well established person, and it's just a simple premise. Well, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Every one of these guys, almost every plot is the former villain, and this movie is no different.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about let's cover the others, right?
Yeah.
But right. So they were starting off with this new franchise, Mission Impossible. It got people liked it and stuff. It was big. People actually referred the first one to be one of the greatest summer blockbuster movies of all time.
Yeah.
Although I find 2 is a lot better in terms of that summer because it had more action, and that's what made it work.
But that's the thing. The thing is, you and I are in the minority from this. Every time I get into some group or argument, everybody consider Mission Impossible to the worst one.
Yeah, people say it's the weakest of the series.
I have to go watch back that movie because
I watched it back. And
I remember it being awesome.
Yeah, but here
that movie.
Yeah, but here was wrong with it though. The pacing was bad.
Right.
John Woo, one of the greatest action directors of all time from Hong Kong.
Was he co-star with him? Tandy Newton?
Yeah, Tandy Newton.
Yeah.
Right, he was the love interest.
Yeah.
A couple of issues with the movie in retrospect is that it played too much like a Bond film. There's a moment, there's a car chase scene that resembles the car chase in GoldenEye. It looked very good and it was shot very well. How it was pieced together was very well done. But then you had this whole thing where Tandy Newton's character falls in love with Tom Cruise and now she has to compromise herself. She has to go back in bed with the villain, and then Tom Cruise is all like, "I don't want it to get in danger." And, he trying to protect her and all that kind of stuff now, And it was all this kind of romantic, kind of spy tension shit going on for like about an hour, and then later on is when the action picks up and you get the John Woo style of action, a lot of explosions, guys with 2 guns, doves flying, that whole Catholic stuff that John Woo loves, and this motorcycle chase is silly, but when you watch it, it's like so epic.
Motorcycle joust is awesome.
Yeah, motorcycle joust. Yeah, it is epic. Trust me, you have to see it. It is epic.
Yeah. I like
but yeah, I mean, I saw it on big screen and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
They also utilized some very cool that they had it in the first film, but they really used it creatively in this one, which was the mask.
Right.
Like, characters would wear the mask of like the other characters.
Yeah.
So let's just say Tom Cruise would wear the mask of the villain, so he could infiltrate their organization and then just pull it out like, haha, boom.
Mask.
Yeah.
Magic mask.
Yeah, magic mask, as we call it, right? So yeah. So people were kind of divided by MI2. But I would forgive them for it. I still enjoy it, but the thing is that they were trying to find a formula, and they were trying different directors out to see what extra stuff they could bring to the table.
Right.
So Brian De Palma brought his thing. He brought that old school espionage. John Woo brought that action stuff, but he just kind of incorporated too much of James Bond elements into it, for better or for worse, which kind of. It made it work and it kind of didn't make it work,
Right.
And then later on, we got MI3, which is directed by J.J. Abrams, who directed the first 2 Star Trek reboot movies, and he will be doing the Star Wars movie this Christmas, which better not fail.
Yeah,
but anyway,
we'll see.
And very interestingly enough, the how he became the director for that film, because that was his first feature, is that one night Tom Cruise was watching TV and he saw Alias on TV, and that was the big TV show that J.J. Abrams helmed at that time.
Right.
And he got into contact with J.J. and like, yo, I want you to direct MI3.
Right.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
And to me, I mean, MI3 is a brilliant in terms of like non-stop action flick.
Yeah.
There's lots of tension, lots of action, lots of explosions, lots of gunfights. But what kind of really made it kind of different is that it felt like if he took Alias or one of his TV shows and put it on screen, it would be like that. It'd be bigger, it would be bolder, it would be more explosive, and it felt like that. Okay. Everything was just pushed to the limit.
Okay.
And I think it was a little bit to his detriment because the tension and the espionage stuff that made Mission Impossible what it was kind of lacking. It was just like, action. A little moment for it to breathe. And we got a great villain in terms of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
that was his standout for that. If it wasn't for him, that whole movie would have been forgettable.
The late great Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
He was a pretty damn good villain, and they had some clever. What I liked about the Mission Impossible stuff and spy stuff. You need a warrior. You need to do some concept or something that's really clever.
Yes.
This is so. Oh wow, that's so cool. This is so thing. And that one, what they did in that one was the whole. Not only they did the magic mask, but they also did the voice thing, which is not possible. I don't think it's real. But that's a pretty clever way of doing that. The whole idea of when you speak this statement and it'll record every possible phonetic you could say to copy your voice.
Yeah.
That was pretty damn awesome. There are a lot of clever things in that film. So I really remember enjoying MI3.
And then 4 came out, which was Ghost Protocol. It came out in 2011.
Right.
Still one of my favorite movies of that year.
Right.
It was directed by Brad Bird, the guy who directed probably the best Pixar movie ever, The Incredibles.
And he did the Iron Giant.
Yeah, Iron Giant, of course, back in '99.
Right. So I'm in the minority with this one, which I did not like. Ghost Protocol all that much. But the thing is, the only reason that I don't like that movie is because Brad Bird's name was attached to it. And I was expecting something mind-blowingly amazing, like on par with the Iron Giant or Incredibles.
Right.
And I didn't get that. It was a good movie, right? But I didn't get that with this film. I was kind of underwhelmed. They had the wow factor.
Yeah.
Which was this amazing sequence of Tom Cruise on I think the Burj
Dubai. It was one of probably the tallest building in the world.
Yeah, Burj Dubai, and that was a big deal at the time. This is before Dubai went bankrupt. But this was really a big spectacle movie. They did a really good job with it. But I still a little underwhelmed with it.
Yeah, and what it did too is that it really showed that Tom Cruise can and does commit to his performances.
Yes. Amazing dedication.
If his character has to go outside of the tallest building in the world, just to climb up a couple floors, and then lose his grip and fall and then catch it back.
Yeah, that's pretty damn intense.
He is going to do that. And I actually watched Ghost Protocol on the same day before I watched Rogue Nation, and that scene still gets me. It's like probably one of the most intense scenes ever in the Mission Impossible series thus far. But the flaws, like in retrospect, is the villain. The villain didn't really stand out. He's just some guy who got a briefcase with some nuclear stuff, secrets and so on. And it's just him and a suitcase. There was nothing menacing about it. It was just a guy and a suitcase.
That's the thing I really remember about Ghost Protocol. It was just, they had to escape and be rebels, blah, blah, blah. And then Burj Dubai and Sandstorm.
There was a great Sandstorm scene.
Pretty much everything after that I really forgot. I know it had the sequence with cars and so on, but I really don't remember the stuff.
Yeah, that was nearing the end, but nothing to really write home about it.
It's so forgettable. And then, Ving Rhames. The end.
And, and Simon Pegg, who showed up, who was introduced, in part 3.
Yeah.
He appears again in part 4. He was very comical. He brought that humor.
But they made the strength of 4 was the idea of teamwork.
Yes. They really utilized teamwork very well in this one.
That's kind of the whole central premise of the Mission Impossible franchise anyway.
Yeah, well, I would say this, like, they forgot it in 2.
Yeah.
Because it was all about Tom Cruise being this real badass superhero spy.
Yeah.
And forgot about the team, because the team didn't matter at the time.
Yeah.
But this one, part 4, brought it back to, what worked in 3, what worked in 1, which is about teamwork.
And I think
people doing their jobs and stuff.
Was this the first outing for Mr. Hawkeye himself, Jeremy Renner?
Yes. Jeremy Renner's character, he was William Brandt.
Right.
Yeah, Brandt, Brandt. Yeah, he was introduced as he was involved in a particular matter involving Tom Cruise's ex-wife, so to speak. Yeah, and he shows back up here again to help Tom Cruise's character with this mission that they have to go through.
Yeah.
And he shows back up again in this film here. All right, I might as well go into 5. So the end of part 4, which the end of Ghost Protocol, Tom Cruise receives his message, and yes, this is this gimmick that goes through all the films, where he gets a message from IMF concerning this mission, and he has to choose whether he wants to accept it or not. He has to go, he has to extract some kind of thing, and if he is dead, then the CIA or the IMF would disavow any knowledge of him. It's almost as if he didn't exist.
Yeah.
So so at the end of Ghost Protocol, he receives his message about an organization called the Syndicate.
Yeah.
And this film, well, Rogue Nation starts off with him trying to find out who the Syndicate is. So apparently what he is an international criminal consortium. So they are responsible for certain tragic, really destructive, violent events all over the world.
Yeah, it's kind of this subversive shaking up of whatever governments or whatever it is. So basically an event that will cause international mayhem of some sort or the other. Basically a workable terrorist organization. And so it's like stuff like missing flights, or they have important people on those flights, or some kind of explosion here, and that'll cause a whole civil war in some part of the world. They just this kind of snowballing effect they systematically manipulate over the world.
Right.
And they're really smart.
Yeah.
A bunch of smart villains. And I actually really, really like this film.
Same here.
Simply because of the villain. The main villain itself, especially when you see him, his thing at the end, I really, really like the character. The premise of the character, it worked. But yeah, continue with you.
I like the villain as well too. I would say he's not as great as not as memorable, I should say, as Philip Seymour Hoffman's character from Patry.
Yeah.
But he did fit the mold of like that sort of spy espionage thing. He really felt like something out of a spy film.
Right. And he was in many ways like the anti-Ethan. The character's ridiculously smart.
Yeah, he was always like 5 steps ahead of Ethan every
and the whole point is that he just keep this highly calculated thing, and kind of the only way Ethan beat him is that Ethan was just pure gamble has ended.
Yeah,
he didn't anticipate the randomness of Ethan's behavior, and that was basically why he lost.
Yeah.
So the film really, really worked in that way. He overcalculated, and then coming on to the end, he didn't know how to adapt to the final situation. That was really cool what they did with it.
Right.
This film, I'll say just to get around the downsides of this film, I'll say the only 2 big issues with this film. It didn't have any great wow factor spectacle yet in it. It had good action sequences.
Yeah, well, apart from the plane scene that everyone have seen in all the trailers, it's there, but that's not the wow factor, trust me.
Yeah, but for me, it didn't really have anything that was like really mind-blowing. It could be just old man Ricardo, just cynical and seeing everything.
All right, I will actually disagree with that one thing, because there was one scene that stood out more than the plane scene. There's a car chase scene. Right. Starts off as a car chase and then it turns into a motorcycle chase. Still, and it is probably one of the best action sequences you will see on the big screen this year.
I'm not denying that. I don't deny that at all. And there's a solid scene, but it didn't.
Yeah, well shot, well framed, everything worked.
But it didn't blow me away. That's the thing. And it was just action sequence.
Well, it was tense. It kept me at the edge of my seat. I would admit, I was like...
I was normal. I was pretty normal for it. I was like, all right, this is good, but not great. Another thing with the film, it's a little too long.
It clocks into about 2 hours and 10 minutes, about that. But it feels really long because there's so much going on.
Right. But what happened is that they had to have certain scenes in it to balance out the narrative to make it work. So I could understand why it is that the film was this long. They had this one very good scene that built in tension in an opera house. Yeah.
Probably one of the best scenes in that movie.
That scene was fantastic.
Brilliant.
It didn't have much action, but it was just nice, well-edited, built-in tension, build to the kind of climax of it, and it was very, very well done.
Yeah, and the way how they used the aria from the opera, the singing, they used that. How they utilized the music in that scene was incredible. But
so I really actually like this film, mostly because of the villain, this highly clinical level of calculation he had. He never raises his voice, he never loses his cool. It's only until the ending, then you see him,
more or less kind of flip out.
And what they do with it is very clever, because it's a nice little a throwback to something happens early in the film, and a nice little foreshadowing there. And they do a good job with the whole story itself. Story's a little convoluted.
Yeah, it is.
But no different from any of the other films.
Well, let me just my point of view of it is the convolutedness is what make it work as well too. But what I like, it felt like how the first film was. Because the first film, the story is is amazingly convoluted. But in terms of a spy setting, it's like, who do you trust? Who doing this? Who doing that? Right? And they did that in this one.
Yeah, you get a great sense of the whole subterfuge and why. But everything is relatively well explained, I think. It's you understand why the villain is doing what he's doing. The one thing in the film that they didn't really explain the character's motives, but you understand his motives, because Ethan's character figures him out.
Yeah.
And you totally understand why he's doing what he's doing. You understand why the girl is doing what she's doing. And you understand why the British government did what they did.
Right.
And the American government what they did. And all the players involved. And why everyone did. So it's not incoherent. It's not I suppose I have to watch it over to see what big plot hole it had there, here or there. But for the most part, I thought it flowed relatively well. Right, everything reasonably made sense. You understand why this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
But we had a little nitpicks here. They had one little nitpick involving one of the mask usage or lack of thereof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, I like this film. I will give my rating, and then what you'll give. My rating, I will give this a very high movie tongue. It didn't have anything mind-blowing, but it's just so well constructed and well done, I rate it.
Mm-hmm.
So go see this in movie tongue, not IMAX, but movie tongue. Recommend this.
Yeah.
Not the greatest of films. But I actually like this one more than I like MI4.
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoy this one more than MI4. So if you like MI4 a lot, you might like this one a lot. But I just still, don't rate it that high. Because it just didn't do anything for me to truly think about it in any brilliant way. I was like, wow, this was so amazing. But it's just so solid and a solid script. I think Michael McQuarrie both wrote and directed. And I thought it was a pretty solid script because it's the idea of the villain I thought was very clever. They didn't explore that too much, but you got into the idea of why the villain is doing what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I really like that villain. He's an anime villain, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, even the way he talks, he has this like really soft voice,
he don't speak.
We
don't
have
get
to stop this, people.
Yeah,
this is what we do.
Just super calculated, but they explain here what kind of there's an internet meme called "Screams Internally." He's one of those guys. Or it kind of reminds it kind of reminds me of like Nightcrawler, where he cool until you see him completely snap
until he snaps. It's like he just holding all that.
Right,
that
and
rage.
There's a lot of, and in his case, it's explained why he has a lot of rage. He's a total anime character in that sense. I could easily like see him like have a big monologue and meltdown and all this emotion and whatever it is. But the character like is a total stoic, and I really actually like that villain. It's a cool character.
Yeah,
I thought it was a cool character. And he was a badass.
Mm-hmm.
It totally worked.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let me just see the rest of what I have to say about the movie. All right. So the girl that Ricardo was talking about in particular, her name is Ilsa Faust, played by actress Rebecca Ferguson. She's a MI6 agent, and disavowed MI6 agent, and she works with the syndicate. So when Tom Cruise meets up with her, she's part of the group already. And all through the film, it's this whole question of whether you should trust her or not, because at moments she helps out Tom, and moments she kind of betrays him. We're not really sure what side she on. Is she with the syndicate, or is she with MI6? Is she trying to help Tom Cruise? Is she trying to help the syndicate? You're not too sure. But I like her character because, she's equivalent of what a Bond girl should be. Not just there to be eye candy, but she can hold her own. She's a badass. She could fight.
Yeah.
She could spin people around on the legs and crack, break people's necks and stuff.
Yeah.
She does that, and it looks very awesome, right? The villain, Solomon Lane, that's his name, is played by Sean Harris. Mm-hmm. He was great as well too. I liked just the way how his character is set up. He's not this larger than life, over the top villain.
Yeah,
he talks really soft spoken. You have to kind of listen carefully to what he's saying.
He's basically a strings puller. He's a puppeteer. They do a good job with that because again, the syndicate is like they really get involved. They totally infiltrate IMF, and you totally get to Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
and they do a good job with that. It's Tom Cruise versus this guy, brain for brains. And Tom Cruise just couldn't simply outsmart him. Tom Cruise had to do some crazy shit just to beat the guy.
Yeah, and next thing too with Tom Cruise, like I forgot to mention, in the previous film, the IMF was officially disavowed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get into details what happened, but you have to see that movie for yourself.
Yeah.
So this new one more or less starts up with Tom Cruise by himself, trying to hunt down the syndicate. And he tries to get Simon Pegg's character involved, and Simon Pegg kind of refuses because he doesn't want to get killed. He doesn't want to get into trouble. And what I like with Tom Cruise's character is that he just wants to bring down the syndicate, but he doesn't want his friends to die in the process.
Yeah.
So yes, Simon Pegg is involved because he needs his help, but at the same time, he doesn't want him to die or get seriously hurt,
Yeah.
So he's always thinking about his friends, and he's always trying to keep one step ahead of these guys, the syndicate.
Right.
But they are always moving 2 steps away from him,
Yeah.
So this kind of cat and mouse chase as well too.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tom Cruise does his thing. He does all of his stunts, and they look really great, by the way. his commitment to his performances still amazes me to this day.
And he runs in this movie.
And he does that sprint, sprint that he's been doing since the first movie.
Yeah, that very strange robot sprint.
Yeah, it looks very good. I mean, he's like probably one of the realest action heroes. Like, I would have never thought, like, in a million years that I would say Tom Cruise is one of the greatest action heroes in the business, but I would say that right now. He is.
It's very well done in that way.
Yeah,
so,
and he proves it in this movie.
So what's your rating for this?
All right, well, just one more thing before I get to the rating. So, for me, just to summarize everything, Rogue Nation, for me, is where the Mission Impossible franchise finally got it right in terms of the formula. They got the tension. Now, they took the espionage aspects of the first one, took kind of like the over-the-top stuff.
Right.
Not too much of it, of like the second and the fourth one, and they brought in the tension and the action and the characters and the teamwork of the third and the fourth film. So more or less, it's just they took the best moments of the first four films, what made those films work, and meshed it together into this one movie, and it worked brilliantly. It's not the best movie I've seen this year. I was expecting it to be a little better. I would say it's slightly better than Ghost Protocol. It is better by far, but just slightly, you know. The plot is convoluted, but you can't expect that from a Mission Impossible movie now.
Yeah,
and what I like is that because of the action scenes and because of the performances, the convolutedness of the plot doesn't distract you from enjoying the film. You still have fun with it, even if you don't quite understand everything that the syndicate is doing or what the IMF is trying to do and stuff. And you don't need to know every single thing that's going on. That's what I like about it as well too. You sit down, you have fun, you understand what character A is doing and what character B has to stop him, and you get these really great action sequences. But you also have this really well thought out, well put together espionage film. So you can look at it as both an espionage film and an action film, and it works.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a Bond clone because they have moments which feels like, you know, like a Skyfall or Casino Royale. There's one particular moment that really, I saw that, I was like, that's from Casino Royale. I saw that. That's from Casino Royale.
No, that one part that I thought was a very Skyfall sequence. It was very, very similar to one of the scenes in Skyfall. I don't want to say the opera scene, basically.
Yeah.
But that was very similar to one of the scenes in Skyfall that, well, it wasn't shot the same way, though, but it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Yeah, but rating-wise, I will give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really wanted to give it a 4.5, but I don't know, maybe... Like what Ricardo said, they didn't have too much of that wow factor.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the plane scene is there, and you have that very brilliantly shot motorcycle chase scene. And yes, you get great performances from Tom Cruise, and just literally everybody involved in this film deliver fantastic performances, even Alec Baldwin of all people.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it like really, it just felt like, you know, the best of the first four put together into one film, but there wasn't anything new or better or different that, you know, pushed it a little higher, that really really made the franchise evolve now. So to me, it just felt like they were trying to find the right footing for the past 19 years, and finally they just took the best and put it together, and it meshed and it worked.
Yeah.
So let's hope if they have a part 6.
More likely
they will, you know, because the ending, which at first when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is how they're going to end it. But then I started to think about it, it's like, they kind of hinting at a sequel. Really subtle hint.
Yeah.
You know, but for me, I give it a 4 out of 5. See this movie. See it on big screen. See it as soon as you can.
Right.
Buy a bag of popcorn. Buy a drink.
Right.
Especially during that motorcycle chase, you will be chowing down on popcorn like I did when I saw it. You know, you're gonna have lots of fun. You don't have to think too much about what's going on in the film, even though you're gonna get that nice, cool espionage shit. You know, but all the stuff that you love from the previous films, it's there. If you're a fan of this series, you'll love it. If you're looking for a really great, well thought out summer blockbuster, you're gonna get it with this movie. So check it out as soon as you can.
Yeah. So, well, that's all right. And as I said, I give it a high movie tongue. Recommend it. Where can we contact you?
All right, you can contact me and the rest of the IMF team on Twitter. Just search for my name, Matthew Bailey, on Twitter. You'll find me there. Also, you could find me on Facebook as well under the same name, and you could search for my blog post, my official blog, Facebook page. Just type in Illegally Black blog official fan page.
Yeah.
And also, too, you could find the blog itself. If you search for legallyblack.wordpress.com, you'll find all my written reviews. You'll find the links to the previous podcasts that myself and Ricardo has worked on, including this one here that you listen to right now. And, and once you've listened to it, I really hope I hope you've been entertained by this, because we put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
Please share it, tell people about it. Leave a comment or two. Share your thoughts on Southpaw.
Yeah.
Share thoughts on Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. The previous Mission Impossible films, which one you thought was the best, which one you thought the worst. Did you think MI2 was the worst? Or do you think is the best in the series? Whatever. Whatever you want to talk about it, just leave a comment or two.
Yeah.
Okay?
And my mission, which I choose to accept, is you could find me at Harmeddy on Twitter. That's RMEDDY. And you could find me on Facebook. Right, just type in Ricardo Medina. I am the 007. Most important Ricardo Medina on Facebook. You could find me there. And that's pretty much it. You could just... What else you have to end with, Ratu?
The staple self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Bye.
Yeah. All right.